20 things only those who grew up in the 1980s remember. Get ready to rewind. We're diving deep into the decade of neon, big hair, and unforgettable trends. Join us as we explore the iconic toys, fashion, and pop culture that defined the 1980s. Scratch and Sniff stickers were the ultimate collectible in the 80s, transforming ordinary notebooks and folders into an olfactory adventure. Forget plain paper, these stickers offered a burst of scent with every scratch, from the sweet tang of artificial strawberry to the savory aroma of pizza, or even the buttery goodness of popcorn. The real fun, however, wasn't just sticking them, it was the trading. Building the ultimate collection meant finding the rarest, most unique scents. The weirder, the better. The social status that came with a particularly pungent or unusual sticker was a significant playground achievement, making these a surprisingly powerful form of social currency. Fanny Packs, or bum bags in some parts of the world, were the epitome of 80s practicality and style. These small, zippered pouches, worn around the waist, offered hands-free convenience for carrying all your essentials: keys, cash, candy, even a small Walkman. But they weren't just functional, they were a fashion statement. Think bold neon colors, geometric patterns, and even holographic designs. They were the perfect accessory for everything from amusement parks to school field trips. While they might have fallen out of favor for a while, their recent resurgence proves their enduring appeal, though perhaps with a slightly more subdued aesthetic. The Sony Walkman revolutionized how we listen to music. This sleek, portable cassette player, paired with those iconic foam-covered headphones, gave you a personal soundtrack to your life wherever you went. It was more than just a gadget. It was a symbol of independence and a declaration of cool. Suddenly, you could escape into your own world of music on the bus, at the park, or even, discreetly, in class. The Walkman fostered a sense of personal space and individual expression in a way that hadn't been possible before. It was a game changer, making music truly mobile and personal for the first time. Slap bracelets. Slap bracelets were the quintessential 80s accessory, a seemingly simple band of fabric-covered metal that transformed into a tightly fitting bracelet with a satisfying snap against your wrist. The magic was in the springy steel band hidden beneath vibrant colors and wild patterns, from neon swirls to animal prints. The addictive slap sound and the way they instantly curled around your arm made them irresistible. They were more than just jewelry. They were a fidget toy, a fashion statement, and a brief, rebellious thrill, especially when schools started banning them due to their distracting and occasionally weaponized nature. They were cheap, colorful, and everywhere. Arcade games. Before home consoles dominated, the arcade was the epicenter of gaming culture. Imagine a dimly lit space, pulsating with neon lights and the cacophony of electronic beeps, boops, and the clatter of quarters. It was a social hub, a place to compete for high scores on Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Galaga, and countless others. The energy was palpable, the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat and running out of quarters, and the camaraderie of shared experience. Arcades were more than just places to play. They were where friendships were forged and legends were made, one quarter at a time. Rubik's Cube. The Rubik's Cube was more than a puzzle. It was a global phenomenon that swept through the 1980s. This colorful, twisty cube captivated millions, challenging them to solve its intricate combinations. Some mastered it, becoming speedcubers who could solve it in seconds. Others struggled for hours, days, or even gave up entirely. But owning a Rubik's Cube, even if you couldn't solve it, was a badge of honor. It represented intelligence, perseverance, and a connection to a worldwide craze. It was a tactile, analog challenge in an increasingly digital world, a symbol of both frustration and ultimate satisfaction. Cabbage Patch Kids. Cabbage Patch Kids were the must-have toy of the early 80s, sparking a frenzy that saw parents literally fighting in stores to get their hands on one. These soft sculpture dolls, each with a unique name and adoption papers, were more than just toys. They were companions. The marketing genius behind them was the idea of adoption, creating a sense of personal connection and responsibility. The demand far outstripped supply, leading to long lines, waiting lists, and even black market sales. The Cabbage Patch Kids craze was a testament to the power of clever marketing and the enduring appeal of a cuddly companion. Leg warmers. Leg warmers, initially designed for dancers to keep their muscles warm, became a mainstream fashion craze in the 80s, fueled by the popularity of aerobics and movies like Flashdance. These knitted tubes, worn over the lower legs, came in every color imaginable, often in bright neon hues. They were paired with everything from workout gear to skirts and even jeans. They were a fun, playful accessory that added a touch of sporty flair to any outfit. Whether you were actually working out or just wanted to look like you were, leg warmers were a defining element of 80s style. Koosh Balls. Koosh Balls were the ubiquitous, tactile toy of the 80s. These colorful balls, made of hundreds of soft, rubbery strands, were incredibly satisfying to hold, squeeze, and toss. Their unique texture and bouncy nature made them perfect for fidgeting, playing catch, or just relieving stress. They were simple yet addictive, appealing to kids and adults alike. They came in a variety of colors and sizes, often with a distinctive "koosh" sound when squeezed. They were a sensory delight, a simple pleasure in a world of increasingly complex toys. They were fun to hold, fun to throw, and just plain fun. Blockbuster video rentals. Friday night in the 80s often meant a trip to Blockbuster Video. It wasn't just about renting a movie, it was an event. Wandering the aisles, browsing the colorful VHS boxes, debating between the latest action flick or a classic comedy, was a ritual. The anticipation of movie night, complete with popcorn and snacks, was palpable. And, of course, there was the cardinal rule: be kind, rewind. Those little stickers were a constant reminder of the pre-digital era, where a little extra effort was required for your entertainment. Blockbuster was a cornerstone of weekend family time and social gatherings. Caboodles. Caboodles were the ultimate organizational accessory for 80s girls. These colorful, plastic cases, with their multi-tiered compartments and latching lids, were designed to hold everything from makeup and jewelry to hair accessories and art supplies. They were more than just storage containers. They were a fashion statement, a way to express your personal style and keep your treasures organized. The satisfying click of the latch and the neatly arranged compartments were a source of satisfaction. They were a portable, personal space, a reflection of your identity and your belongings. Organization met style. Atari 2600. The Atari 2600 was the gateway to the world of home video games for many 80s kids. While the graphics were primitive by today's standards, think blocky pixels and simple shapes, games like Pac-Man, Space Invaders, Pitfall, and Adventure sparked a revolution. The joystick, with its single button, was your connection to this new digital world. It was a social experience, with friends gathering around the TV to compete for high scores or collaborate on adventures. The Atari 2600 wasn't just a console. It was a portal to a new form of entertainment, laying the foundation for the modern gaming industry. Trapper Keepers. The Trapper Keeper was the ultimate school supply status symbol of the 80s. More than just a binder, it was a portable command center for all your schoolwork, featuring colorful folders, a secure Velcro closure, and often eye-catching designs. Choosing your Trapper Keeper was a crucial back-to-school decision. Would it be adorned with neon geometric patterns, majestic unicorns, or your favorite cartoon characters? The satisfying thwop of the Velcro closure was a sound that echoed through school hallways. It was about organization, yes, but it was also about expressing your personality and fitting in or standing out with the cool crowd. Jelly shoes. Jelly shoes, or jellies, were the ubiquitous footwear of 80s kids. Made of brightly colored, translucent PVC plastic, these sandals and flats were affordable, waterproof, and undeniably stylish, at least at the time. They came in a rainbow of colors, often with glitter embedded in the plastic. While they weren't exactly known for their comfort, sweaty feet were a common complaint. Their affordability and fun factor made them a must-have. They were perfect for the beach, the pool, or just adding a pop of color to any outfit. They were the epitome of cheap and cheerful 80s fashion. Cassette tapes and mixtapes. Before Spotify and endless digital playlists, there were cassette tapes, the physical embodiment of music in the 1980s. More than just a format, they were a canvas for personal expression. Hunched over your dual cassette deck, painstakingly recording songs from the radio, hoping the DJ wouldn't talk over the intro, or crafting the perfect mixtape for a crush or friend was an art form. Each tape told a story, a curated selection of songs reflecting your mood, your taste, and your message. The satisfying click of the tape deck, the whir of the rewind, the occasional tangled mess, it was all part of the experience. It was intimate and tangible. Lisa Frank School Supplies. Lisa Frank School Supplies transformed the mundane world of notebooks, folders, and pencils into a vibrant, psychedelic wonderland. Her signature style, featuring rainbow-colored unicorns, dolphins, puppies, and kittens, all rendered in dazzling, glittery detail, was instantly recognizable. Owning Lisa Frank gear was a status symbol, a way to express your personality and add a touch of magic to the everyday school routine. Her designs were a joyful explosion of color and fantasy, a stark contrast to the often drab reality of the classroom. They were a bright spot in the often monotonous world of education. Choose Your Own Adventure books revolutionized reading for 80s kids. These interactive stories put you in control of the narrative. At the end of each section, you'd be presented with choices that determine the direction of the story. Would you enter the spooky cave or take the safer path? Each decision led to a different outcome, creating a unique and personalized reading experience. The thrill of making choices and facing the consequences, sometimes dire, made these books incredibly engaging. They were a fun, empowering way to experience storytelling, turning reading into an active adventure. They fostered imagination and decision-making. Waterbeds. Waterbeds were the ultimate 80s bedroom luxury, a symbol of cool and a touch of the unconventional. These fluid-filled mattresses, often encased in a wooden frame, promised a wave-like sleeping experience. They were seen as modern, even futuristic, and a definite step up from a traditional mattress. While they had their drawbacks, potential leaks, difficult to move, and the occasional seasickness, the novelty and perceived comfort made them a desirable item. Owning a waterbed was a statement, a sign that you embraced the unconventional and enjoyed the finer things in life, or at least the 80s version of them. Sliding across floors in socks. Thanks to Tom Cruise's iconic scene in Risky Business, sliding across a smooth floor in your socks became a rite of passage for 80s kids. It was a simple act of rebellion, a moment of carefree fun, and a way to emulate the effortless cool of a movie star. All you needed was a pair of socks and a polished floor, hardwood or tile worked best. The thrill of gliding across the room, arms outstretched, was undeniably satisfying. It was a spontaneous, silly, and surprisingly exhilarating activity, a small act of playful defiance and movie-inspired fun. E.T. craze. The release of E.T. the Extraterrestrial in 1982 sparked a global phenomenon. The lovable alien captured the hearts of audiences worldwide, and E.T. merchandise flooded the market. Plush toys, lunchboxes, clothing, and, of course, Reese's Pieces, E.T.'s favorite candy. E.T. phone home became a ubiquitous phrase, and kids everywhere dreamed of befriending their own extraterrestrial. The film's themes of friendship, loyalty, and acceptance resonated deeply, making E.T. a cultural icon and a symbol of childhood wonder. The movie's magic spilled over into everyday life, creating a shared cultural experience. Boomboxes. The boombox was more than just a portable radio. It was a cultural icon, a symbol of street culture, and a powerful statement of personal expression. These massive, battery-powered music machines, often featuring dual cassette decks, powerful speakers, and a prominent handle, allowed you to blast your favorite tunes wherever you went. Carrying a boombox on your shoulder was a declaration of your musical taste and your presence. They were the centerpiece of block parties, breakdancing battles, and impromptu gatherings. The boombox was about sharing your music with the world, turning any public space into a potential party. Volume and bass were key. Neon clothes. The 1980s were a decade of bold self-expression, and nothing embodied that spirit quite like neon clothing. Blindingly bright pinks, electric yellows, luminous greens, and shocking oranges were everywhere on t-shirts, leg warmers, sweatbands, and even shoelaces. It was a visual rebellion against the muted tones of previous decades, a declaration of fun and individuality. Whether you were hitting the aerobics class, going to the mall, or just hanging out with friends, neon ensured you wouldn't be missed. It was loud, it was proud, and it was undeniably 80s. Subtlety was not the goal. Chia Pets. The catchy jingle of Chia Pets commercials was instantly recognizable in the 80s. These terracotta figurines, shaped like animals or cartoon characters, came with chia seeds that, when watered, would sprout into a lush, green fur. Watching your chia pet grow was a strangely satisfying experience, a miniature gardening project that required minimal effort. They were a fun, quirky novelty item that added a touch of green to homes and offices. They were a testament to the power of clever marketing and the appeal of a simple, engaging activity. They were a low-maintenance, high-reward plant project. Polaroid cameras. In the pre-digital age, Polaroid cameras offered instant gratification. You'd snap a picture, and within minutes, the photo would magically develop before your eyes. The iconic white border became synonymous with instant memories. Shaking the developing photo, despite instructions to the contrary, became a ritual, a part of the anticipation. Polaroids weren't just about capturing images, they were about capturing moments. They were perfect for parties, vacations, and everyday snapshots, providing a tangible, immediate record of life's experiences. They were the original Instagram, offering instant, shareable memories. They lacked filters, but had a charm of their own. Garbage Pail Kids. Garbage Pail Kids trading cards were the rebellious, gross-out alternative to the sweetness of Cabbage Patch Kids. These sticker cards featured grotesque parodies of the popular dolls, with names like Atom Bomb, Leaky Lindsay, and Fryin' Brian. The artwork was intentionally repulsive, featuring bodily fluids, explosions, and all sorts of disgusting details. They were a hit with kids who loved the subversive humor and the thrill of collecting something that was considered bad by many adults. They were a form of playful rebellion, a way to push boundaries and embrace the absurd. Trading and collecting were key. Friendship pins. Friendship pins were small, colorful, and deeply meaningful symbols of connection in the 80s. These decorative pins, often featuring cute designs, cartoon characters, or simple words, were traded and collected among friends. They were typically attached to shoelaces, backpacks, or jackets, serving as a visible display of friendship and shared interests. Each pin represented a bond, a memory, or a shared joke. They were a low-cost, high-impact way to express affection and build social connections. They were a tangible representation of intangible bonds, a way to show you belonged. The more, the merrier. Viewmaster. The Viewmaster was a portal to another world, a simple yet magical device that brought 3D images to life. You'd insert a circular reel containing a series of tiny photographs, look through the eyepieces, and click the lever to advance to the next scene. Whether it was views of faraway lands, scenes from your favorite movies, or educational subjects, the Viewmaster offered a captivating, immersive experience. It was a low-tech form of virtual reality, sparking imagination and a sense of wonder. It was a solitary pleasure, a personal escape into a world of visual storytelling. It was simple, yet captivating. Glo Worms. Glo Worms were the cuddly, comforting companions of countless 80s kids. These soft, plush toys, with their gentle, glowing faces, were designed to soothe and reassure at bedtime. A squeeze of the body would activate the light, creating a soft, warm glow that chased away the darkness. They were more than just night lights. They were friends, offering a sense of security and comfort in the dark. The Glo Worm was a symbol of childhood innocence and the simple joys of a comforting presence. They were a huggable, glowing friend in the night. Mall culture. The mall in the 1980s was more than just a shopping destination. It was the social epicenter for teenagers. It was a place to see and be seen, to hang out with friends, to cruise the food court, and to check out the latest fashions. The bright lights, the bustling crowds, the sounds of arcade games, and the smell of freshly baked pretzels created a vibrant, energetic atmosphere. The mall was a microcosm of 80s culture, a place where trends were born and social hierarchies were established. It was freedom, independence, and a taste of adulthood, all rolled into one brightly lit, air-conditioned space. The MTV Boom. MTV's launch in 1981 revolutionized the music industry and popular culture. Music television wasn't just a channel, it was a phenomenon. With the iconic phrase, "I want my MTV," the network ushered in the era of the music video, transforming how artists presented their work and how fans consumed music. Suddenly, image was as important as sound. Bands and singers became visual performers, creating elaborate stories and eye-catching visuals to accompany their songs. MTV shaped fashion, slang, and attitudes, becoming a defining force of the decade. It was the ultimate platform for musical discovery and visual innovation. What's one thing from the 80s you wish would make a comeback? Let's hear your thoughts. Hair crimpers. In the 80s, big hair was in, and the hair crimper was the secret weapon for achieving that signature textured look. This heated styling tool created tight, zigzag waves, adding volume and a distinctive, crimped pattern to even the straightest hair. It was a far cry from sleek and smooth. The goal was to create a bold, textured style that stood out. Paired with teased bangs, copious amounts of hairspray, and perhaps a colorful scrunchie, crimped hair was a defining element of 80s fashion. It was a fun, playful way to experiment with your look and embrace the decade's maximalist aesthetic. Paper fortune tellers. Paper fortune tellers, also known as cootie catchers, were a simple, yet endlessly entertaining, pastime for 80s kids. These folded paper creations, decorated with colors and numbers, offered playful predictions about the future. You'd ask a question, choose a color and number, and the fortune teller would reveal your, often silly, fate. They were a staple of schoolyards and sleepovers, providing hours of amusement with just a piece of paper and a bit of imagination. They were a fun, interactive way to engage with friends and explore the mysteries of the future, or at least, a playful version of it. The Oregon Trail. The Oregon Trail wasn't just a computer game. It was an educational adventure that transported 80s kids back to the 19th century. Playing as pioneers traveling westward, you faced challenges like hunting for food, fording rivers, and dealing with disease. Dysentery was the infamous killer. It was a surprisingly engaging way to learn about history, resource management, and decision-making. The pixelated graphics and simple gameplay belied a surprisingly complex and often unforgiving experience. You Have Died of Dysentery became a shared cultural touchstone, a reminder of the game's challenges and the harsh realities of pioneer life. It was educational, fun, and frustrating. Hacky Sack. Hacky Sack was more than just a game. It was a social activity and a display of skill that thrived in 80s playgrounds and parks. The small, beanbag-like ball was kept aloft using only feet, knees, and other body parts, but no hands. It could be played solo, as a test of personal dexterity, or in a group, where the goal was to keep the hacky sack in the air as long as possible through cooperative kicks and passes. It fostered coordination, teamwork, and a sense of friendly competition. It was a low-tech, high-energy activity that brought people together. Troll dolls. Troll dolls, with their wild, brightly colored hair and impish faces, were a quirky and beloved toy trend of the 80s, and again in the early 90s. These small, plastic figures, often with bejeweled belly buttons, were collected, traded, and displayed with pride. Their distinctive look, a combination of cute and slightly creepy, made them stand out. Some believe they brought good luck. Whether you love them for their whimsical appearance or their supposed magical properties, troll dolls were a fun, affordable, and undeniably memorable part of 80s childhood. They were a symbol of playful weirdness. Pogo Balls. Pogo Balls, also known as Lolo Balls, were a challenging and exhilarating toy that tested balance and coordination. Consisting of a rubber ball enclosed within a sturdy plastic platform, the goal was to stand on the platform and bounce, using a combination of balance and rhythmic hopping. It was harder than it looked, requiring practice and persistence to master. But once you got the hang of it, the feeling of bouncing around was incredibly fun and rewarding. They were a great way to get exercise, improve balance, and impress your friends, or at least attempt to. They were a test of skill and endurance. Sweet Valley High books. The Sweet Valley High book series was a literary phenomenon that captured the imaginations of countless 80s and early 90s teens. The books followed the lives of identical twins Jessica and Elizabeth Wakefield, navigating the trials and tribulations of high school, friendships, and romance. Jessica was the popular, adventurous twin, while Elizabeth was the more studious and responsible one. The stories were filled with drama, intrigue, and relatable, if often exaggerated, teenage experiences. They were a guilty pleasure, an escape into a world of glamorous California high school life. They were the epitome of teen drama and escapism. Bonne Bell Lip Smackers. Bonne Bell Lip Smackers were more than just lip balm. They were a social currency and a collectible craze for 80s kids. These flavored lip balms came in a wide array of delicious scents and flavors, from classic strawberry and vanilla to more adventurous options like Dr. Pepper and bubblegum. They were brightly colored, fun to collect, and even more fun to trade with friends. The sweet smells and flavors made them irresistible, and the act of applying them felt like a grown-up ritual. They were a small, affordable luxury, a way to express your personality and connect with your peers. Reebok Pumps. Reebok Pumps were the ultimate status symbol sneaker of the late 80s and early 90s. These high-tech basketball shoes featured an inflatable chamber in the tongue that, when pumped, provided a customized, snug fit. The pump technology was revolutionary, and the shoes were instantly recognizable with their distinctive design and prominent pump button. They were expensive, but owning a pair was a sign that you were serious about style and performance, or at least wanted to look like you were. They were a blend of fashion, technology, and athletic aspiration, a symbol of 80s innovation and excess. Candy cigarettes. Candy cigarettes were a controversial yet popular treat in the 80s. These chalky, sugar-based candies were shaped and packaged to resemble real cigarettes, complete with brand names that mimicked popular cigarette brands. While they contained no tobacco, the act of pretending to smoke them was a form of playful rebellion and imitation of adult behavior. They were a sign of a less health-conscious era, a product that would be unthinkable today. They were a sweet, slightly naughty treat, a reminder of a time when the lines between childhood and adulthood were a bit more blurred. Sit and Spin. The Sit and Spin was a simple, yet endlessly entertaining toy that provided hours of dizzying fun for 80s kids. Consisting of a circular plastic base and a rotating wheel, the toy allowed kids to sit and spin themselves around at varying speeds. The faster you spun, the dizzier you got, leading to fits of laughter and a, sometimes wobbly, sense of adventure. It was a great way to burn off energy, develop coordination, and experience the simple joy of spinning. It was low-tech, high fun, a testament to the power of simple, physical play. Scratch-off lottery tickets. Scratch-off lottery tickets were a ubiquitous form of instant gratification in the 80s. These inexpensive tickets, available at convenience stores and gas stations, offered the tantalizing possibility of winning a prize with just the scratch of a coin. The suspense of revealing the hidden symbols, the brief hope of hitting the jackpot, and the usually small wins or losses provided a quick thrill. They were a form of accessible gambling, a low-stakes game of chance that appealed to adults and, sometimes, even kids, with parental permission, of course. They were a small, affordable escape, a momentary diversion from the everyday. We'd love to hear from you. Did we miss any of your cherished 80s memories? Please share them in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to explore our other content for more nostalgic reflections. And, if you haven't already, please subscribe and share our channel with other 80s enthusiasts. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.